baby, it is time for a game number 5 to decide who goes to Chicago between EG and TL. A quick PSA where we have everybody's attention. Ahead of game number 5, for those of you who purchased 2-day tickets for finals weekend in Chicago, the only way to get those tickets is to have them mailed to you or picking them up from Will Call. So, to avoid long lines at United Center and to make sure that you're ready to watch 100 Thieves, Cloud9, and whoever wins this next game, please get those tickets mailed to y'all ahead of time. And now, gentlemen, it is time for Champion Select.
Man, I am so excited to see what the changes are going to be for this final draft here. If you're EG, even though Zilean hasn't come in, Joshi banned Zilean on red side in this game.
Yes,
you just have to.
Yeah.
It's so funny because just like Solo's saying, LeBlanc is one of the best matchups into it, right? GP getting banned out, so there's already a change here.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to see what the other adaptations are going to be. It all comes down to this.
This is so intense. Okay, so the 3 marksmen that have been permabanned the whole series, they're gonna stay that way. Azir and Gangplank banned out, targeting JoJo's Azir, just removing Gangplank entirely. They don't want to give Impact that one. What is the last ban from EG? People will clamor for Zilean. It is left open as Seraphine is banned instead.
Seraphine already with the wins on the board, so I think more respected here.
Santorin finally getting that Trundle, man. I think that is going to be potentially a big concern. Impact could play the Ornn. He could take that side of it.
Yep.
I actually think this makes a lot of sense to be able to grab that up because I think Bwipo will be happy to play Ornn. And if he has Trundle on his team, it's going to be that much more threatening because you don't have an easy answer to it.
Could just answer jungle for jungle here as well. Inspired could go for the Wukong. They're sitting on it for quite a long time. Or, you guys already talked earlier about how Poppy can just get rid of Trundle. He has no dash to get away from these objective fights, so that'll be the first pick for EG.
All right, what's it going to be? Mid lane or bottom lane focus here for EG?
Yeah, it's so interesting. There is also potential, like I said, to go top, right? I do think Ornn makes a lot of sense. I think Bwipo will want to play it. You can take it. You already have one tank. But Sylas going to be the answer here.
Very early Sylas.
Should be a JoJo pick. Theoretically, it could go up to Impact, but very likely this is the mid jungle, both locked in already.
Yeah, I think that's for sure JoJo.
Yeah.
It's the most famous champion here. Hansama hovering his own famous champion.
But locking in the Jinx that he has already been playing this series, the Lulu right next to it. So bot, support, jungle locked in here for TL. EG's just letting them know, we're not gonna give you this. We just want it to show up real fast.
I mean, they pre-picked the Sylas too, so you definitely know it. Now, for the other side though, do they want like a, guaranteed engage onto this Jinx? Last time around, they did such a good job of making sure Hansama could not play the game because they had so much long-range slow.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Kama MF Emax again, right?
Yeah.
For that very reason here.
100%.
I do think it's likely to be paired with an engage support. I don't know if we're gonna see the Bard again. Ornn won't be picked, it will be banned away, so they wanna keep Bwipo off of this. But right now for EG, we're looking for top on both sides. You need top laner. For EG, they need their support. For TL, they need their mid. So you could have another ban here thrown towards Bwipo if they want to really kind of pare down that champion pool and then take the top laner on 4.
Hard ban.
Definitely striking fear into the Team Liquid staff there with the last game. Vulcan was magnificent on that Bard, really.
I mean, a lot of TL bans are just what we lost to this series, right? It's like the monster Azir game from JoJo, monster Impact GP, monster performance on the Bard. They are going to ban the Zilean. They say, you know what? It's game 5. Don't risk it. This is the guy's namesake champion. This is what he is known for. You can't give it over.
If you let that through in game number 5 and Bjergsen just smurfs with it, you will never hear the end of that for the rest of your drafting career.
All right, well, the ego's protected then.
Yes, shields up as the Nautilus is the final ban of the draft for TL.
Yeah, Vulcan here banned out some playmakers. Leona is still available though and works quite well with it.
Okay, EG, who's it gonna be? You're up against Jinx, Lulu, which is not something new this series. It's not a foreign concept. They found an answer with the Bard This time around, there's some powerful engage if they lock that in.
Yeah,
Rakan.
if we're looking at putting pressure on this Jinx, these long-range engages, Rakan's so quick to get in there.
And I actually like the ability that Rakan has for AoE CC, right? You can charm up multiple people. It's not just hitting the ultimate and everything a lockdown on only the Jinx, because Lulu's going to be behind him. So you need to be able to really threaten that CC on multiple people. Bjergsen going to be going back to what he has loved all series long. But Talia has been his go-to. Looks like that is going to be potential. Oh!
No.
They're looking for counter engage. They're saying you're going full dive. You have Sylas, Poppy, Rakan. Your only job, the only way to play the game is to dive on the Jinx. Guess who's the counter engage here? Galio for the defensive ulti.
This does mean so much of Team Liquid's map control will rely specifically on Bwipo on this Aatrox. How this top lane goes, because if the Aatrox loses, you don't have side pressure, you don't have anyone on your front line either. You would have like a Trundle running at you.
Oh, Renekton 5th pick here. A lot of people gonna be talking about this if it doesn't work out.
I like it because, like I said, everything for Team Liquid relies on, does this Aatrox lose lane? Does this Aatrox get side lane pressure? Can it be the front line to run at them and be the one that Galio can ult on top of?
Well, it's interesting because there's definitely, for the aggressive option, I fully agree, but I think the Galio is going to be used just ulting on the Jinx, mostly defensively, trying to respond to what is the dive here. And you now have drafted 4 melee who are going to try to dogpile on this Jinx, which is going to be very difficult through the Lulu and through potential defensive Galio ultimates. So EG are going to have to be so on point with their engage. They have no non-committal team fight. You have to go all in, get onto that Jinx and kill them, or you lose.
Who won the draft?
I think it's TL. I like TL stuff a lot more.
I think it's EG. We got a 50-50 split here.
And that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You can talk to 2 coaches and they'll have completely different opinions about these things. I just think it's gonna be so difficult to actually finish off Hans. There's such a reliance on him to be the one putting out the damage in this game. EG has many more threats and different ways to win the game, but I do think if Hans is having a good game and TL have consistently got him into a good spot, it's gonna be almost impossible for EG to get on him and take him down.
Yeah, EG should be able to have advantage with this Renekton into the top lane Aatrox, and Vulcan on this Rakan should be able to get the cooldowns out, engage, and then disengage before getting locked up. We'll see, though. Everything rides on this. We're split up here on the desk. They're split in there in the games. Everything
so
rides
exciting.
now. Who's going to Worlds? Who's going on in playoffs?
It's so exciting, man, to be able to see it all coming down to this. And it is Danny, Comet, and Tier Start. So it's going to be Emax for sure.
Yep.
And he is going to be looking for those slows. So trying to really harass Hans with this Emax, drop this low on his head, and look for the hard engage.
And it's what worked, right? They spent these games, these first few games in the series, trying to solve the issue of what do we do when they're going for Danny. This MF build is the answer.
I will say, though, one of my big questions is, who's going to really step up here as far as, JoJo or Impact or whatever, because they need to have a lot of damage. If Danny gets put behind, they don't have a consistent damage source really from the rest of the team. In both of their wins, it was JoJo on Azir and then JoJo on that Victor, putting out massive team fight damage. I think there is more pressure on Danny in this one to be the guy who does it, and EG have not been able to keep him ahead at all in this series.
Level 1, no action. Remember, game number 5s, especially in a situation like this, you don't want to make any choices that might just throw the game away. Wacky level 1s? Probably not.
It's a good tweet.
Yeah, he's probably doing...
I mean, LCS is game 5 bangers only. Every playoff series going 5. We must have set a record by now for the most games played ever in an LCS playoffs.
I mean, Cloud9 spoiled a couple of them by making them only 4 games, but yeah, most of them, the vast majority have hit silver scrapes.
Okay, both junglers are seen by early wards here. There is a ward on Raptors that sees Inspired, but Santorin just walked over this river ward here, so JoJo knows as well. And Santorin's just going to brute force this blue invade because he's got vision on Inspired. The bottom lane could come up, though. Vulcan walking from lane, has Ignite, has Flash.
He's only level 1, though, still.
Smite
Santorin
away.
just about has this one down. There it is. Smite secured. Bjergsen losing in the trade against JoJo. Inspired coming around tier 2.
Danny's not coming, though, from the bottom lane. It's the extra person moving from Team Liquid. Their bottom lane pressure pushing in means that Team Liquid are successful in their blue steal.
And they're going to reinvade. They're going to take the Gromp as well here. So this is really annoying for Inspired. It will mean level 3 potentially for Santorin, but now it's the reset. Now it does get a little bit awkward here. So wasting a lot of time, because during that, Inspired's just doing his wolf. Santorin going back in again?
They really want to split this map. They want to make sure there's nothing left here for Inspired, but Inspired's actually going to be a camp ahead of Santorin now.
Yeah, he's going to be able to come over here and potentially defend this. Bjergsen has got to get the shove mid because they want to deny any sort of a move from JoJo.
They took so long with that Inspired Smite actually came up. So it would even be a 50-50 on the steal there. So really actually positive stuff for Evil Geniuses with so much time being spent by Team Liquid.
Wow. That's, I like the fact that we're getting this spicy thing in the early game. I like the fact they have this plan.
Yeah, and we might actually see Inspired try to answer on topside, right? You know, because he's actually going for topside scuttle. He could look for an evade down here. Danny, good trade there on the core. You know, able to chunk him down fairly low. And with Inspired playing on this bottom side, it is Inspired going towards top, looking to take away the enemy blue. And JoJo is cheating towards the top side of that lane, knowing that Santorin would be ganking through bot.
Meanwhile, the top lane matchup that I think a lot hinges on, Impact trying to push in on Bwipo, on this Aatrox.
Well, he's got control over the lane right now for Impact. Bwipo just hanging out underneath the turret. Inspired is here. They could try to dive it. Impact has enough fury for a single empowered spell cast. Doesn't look like they're going to go for it. No, Inspired's just backing away.
But look at Inspired. He's going to get a 3 camp clear on that side. So yes, Santorin comes in and sure, eventually does get that Gromp. But how much time was spent on this where Inspired cleared his entire half of the jungle over there. His Raptors are going to respawn, so Poppy can go up, take Raptors, take Krugs, the AoE camps that are super juicy for this champion to actually clear out. And Inspired should be really happy about the early minutes here.
He's already a camp and a half ahead, and he still has 2 more camps to go for. First recall, though, for Santorin. Gets out the early back for the double longswords. Will have a strong duel if they meet up one-on-one.
I said I liked the fact that they had the plan. They were going for the early disruption, but it just did not prove that disruptive for the EG jungler.
I mean, it just took way too long there. And every time you go for a split map, as a jungler, you know, it's going to be like this. You'll leave behind wards in the area that you were invading. And so they've got a red ward over there in the blue quadrant of the jungle. Means Impact in this Renekton matchup here with Aatrox fully isolated and off of his first back with that pickaxe. Exactly what you want.
It's going to be really nice for him, but on the other side, again, it is Hans out to that early lead. You know, Danny and Vulcan were constantly pulled up to try to answer this potential invade. So yes, Santorin did fall behind off that, but there were minions being lost every time they moved. And he ended up down 10 CS, half of that. He is going to catch up a little bit, but it's a full wave there for Hans to farm. Hans is a good wave and a half ahead. And yeah, that's the same advantage topside, but which would you rather have ahead? The Renekton or the Jinx?
Yeah, Renekton and Jinx, pretty opposite.
Gank. They have a hovering troll down there in the tri-brush.
Oh, but we also still have a very patient Inspired up here in the top
Impact
side.
needs 6 though.
Yeah, they want Impact's ultimate. They need the dominance. Instead, they're just gonna go in. They slash, they dash, they slice, they dice, but they can't do the damage. Bwipo is ready to turn it around and finds quite a lot, but Impact finally gets the EXP he needed, so Bwipo won't get any sort of a kill.
And they got the flash off Bwipo. So flash and ultimate down from Aatrox, you really feel like you're not that much of a champion anymore at that point.
And Inspired's going for the wraparound. They could actually look for a flash stun in here with ulti from Impact if they want.
There's Impact, slice forward.
Oh, he stunned the minion, I think.
They can't get it.
I'm not actually sure if that was just an auto on the minion or if that was his W on the minion. I couldn't, maybe we can see one more time, but either way, he is just going to get the reset. Could have just been trying to push that out, but Core in some trouble here.
Yeah, down in the bottom lane, it's CoreJJ eating some damage, but Danny also the one under pressure. Hans Sama going straight for the enemy AD carry. Danny goes up the ramp. Vulcan body blocking the zap, but now he's in trouble. Goes for a grand exit as Bjergsen goes over the wall. Vulcan tries to escape. The taunt is interrupted.
Here comes JoJo.
And EG is ready to fire back. Bjergsen will not get the kill with the winds of war. He's still still trying to get out of the damn jungle, but it's first blood over to JoJo.
Inspire gets down the bot side so fast, they did not expect it. Bjergsen on that long chase thought it was gonna be an easy kill, but Poppy shows up with the Swifty boots by, gets there just in time.
Game 5 stress is getting at an all-time high here as they chase all the way through the blue quadrant of the jungle. Oh my goodness, and Inspired walks him all the way down the first blood money onto the Sylas. That is going to accelerate this scaling.
This is huge, and it was looking for a second there, like again, it was gonna be EG's bot lane dying to this sort of pressure. The Galio coming over, the 2v2 being won by TL, but it is JoJo that gets that first blood money, and that is gonna be huge.
Definitely will be. Vulcan had to use his flash to escape, but Danny kept his.
Bjergsen now gonna get ganked. Grand entrance, there it is, knock up. Not a whole lot of damage into this Team Liquid mid laner's health bar though, so EG will just back right on off. Bwipo is currently aggroing the Rift Herald himself, but Inspired still hanging out back up here, has level 6 on the Poppy.
One thing with Miss Fortune is with the strut, you have a lot of move speed to get there from base. So while he's a little bit delayed on the recall, you can walk a lot quicker than the Jinx can. 3,000 health though, Team Liquid.
Team Liquid wants it, but Evil Geniuses feel like they're ready to challenge for this. Impact making his way down. He's got flash, he's got ulti. There comes the Poppy, disengaging core, so he's not able to find that support. Team Liquid takes the eye, claims the objective. EG walking it back off now. Impact will just make his way back up to the top lane, dashing out of the chain range.
Nicely done by TL. Very calm, cool, and collected play. They do get that Herald, and Santorin waiting up around here. The whole squad's still here.
Danny is found by the pillar. He just turns it around with the bullet time. But now they're ready to disengage as Bjergsen comes in. Santorin's ulti scares him back off. Now Impact's the target. Team Liquid bringing the party up top. Looking for their old teammate. Not gonna find the kill. Impact gets away. Hans still has a super mega death rocket.
Oh my goodness, was that the pillar interrupt on the ultimate there as Santorin's able to stop it so close? Galio ultimate defensively used. The
he's
rocket.
trying to time it on the recall.
Yeah, but it's not gonna mean anything.
It still hit him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You have to be basically pixel perfect with that. Like it has to be right as he lands or he's gonna heal up too much. I respect the attempt though. If you get that in game 5, you're tilted to oblivion.
Okay, but what about the resets too? Because opposite side of the map, Dragon is kind of dangling there, and Team Liquid with the lane swap here up to the top side. Hansama gets the first push on this top minion wave. You can push that top in hard and try and rotate first.
I just love the fact that when it looked like Danny was caught, he didn't panic and try to escape. He just dug in his heels and started firing off that bullet time. The fact that he's collected enough to still just be like, okay, we're fighting, I guess, let's do it. I love that in game 5. That's the kind of energy I'm here for, boys.
Absolutely, and despite that early pressure, him being drawn off to try to dissuade that jungle invade, they're basically even now. It's a couple CS is the difference between these two marksmen. Guardian gonna absorb most of that zap, so Danny in the best position that he's been at 10 minutes so far in this series, to be honest with you.
Danny and Vulcan defending underneath the tier 1 turret. Still no plates have been claimed on this turret just yet, or on the bottom turret, or on the mid turret. Team Liquid have not collected a single plate in this early game, but the same can be said for Evil Geniuses too. Not a lot of damage on those structures in the first 11 minutes of the game, as Inspired and Santorin have both made their way into the top lane. Remember, the Eye of the Herald is still in Santorin's inventory. Danny's got 250 HP.
The fight over this push on top lane to be able to move first is so hard fought. Team Liquid win out in the end because of the health difference on the AD carries. Hansama, CoreJJ, again, this Jinx Lulu, so much early power.
And look at JoJo. He's hanging out right here because he's not sure if they're going to try to hard commit towards that top side with Herald. If they were, he could actually match the move and try to show up for a potential 3v3. But since the play doesn't happen, he just roams back down towards mid. So I like that he's kind of cheating halfway up there. It's kind of, I would say, low risk, medium reward type play.
Exactly. You're going for something greater than what you're risking.
Yeah.
As long as, no matter how big of a gap that is, as long as the gap's still positive, you're doing all right.
Absolutely. He loses a couple minions mid for that. Bjergsen will be up a little bit of farm, but the rewards would have been very big had TL gone aggressive.
Okay, we are about 12 minutes into the game with no Drake taken yet. That first Drake, that Hex Tech Drake, still on the map. Santorin still has the Eye of the Herald, but for a very limited amount of time. It needs to be dropped soon.
And EG, they had Danny go right back out towards top lane, so the Miss Fortune has to walk all the way down here off of the reset. Impact gets his recall off afterwards as well. It's about 20 seconds lead here for Team Liquid. They've got the first move. They've used Rift Trail to push down bottom
Look at EG
first.
though, they're sending 4 bot here. They're gonna try to look for a potential fight off of this.
Inspired, shoving the Herald
Tackles her
back
away.
there.
It's important to get her out of charge range. A second eyeball.
Oh, let's see if he can hit it. He does. No value from the Herald. Nicely done by Inspired.
Pretty big denial there. Remember the Galio ultimate, though, in the back of your mind. Any Team Liquid member moving up.
Look at Vulcan though, that blast cone could give him an angle if TL moved too far up into the river.
Yeah.
He is 6 now, and that is very, very big. Core is not level 6 yet on the Lulu, so the support difference in XP can mean a lot.
Team Liquid wants to rectify that. If they can get CoreJJ that wild growth before any sort of a fight over this objective, it would mean a lot. Blue buff secured by Inspired. Vulcan still hanging out over the wall. Things are tense. 300 gold lead for the side of EG as JoJo continues trying to scrap with Bjergsen, but not a lot of damage on either health bar just yet.
And JoJo is holding the Galio ultimate, so he's stolen that. And now that he has push mid, they're going to move down towards bot side and look for a potential Galio play.
CoreJJ trying to get out of it, but there comes bullet time. He keeps himself alive with his own ulti and will manage to escape, but EG forcing him back. Could be an opening they're looking for. Vulcan goes in for the knockup. JoJo comes in for the follow-up. There it is, baby. Whips and chains excite him. JoJo gets the second kill of the game for EG.
And that means they can move over to the Dragon finally. CoreJJ barely got his recall off in the brush there. The Lulu survives, but EG will get their rewards.
The Lulu survives, but that's flash off him, flash and cleanse off of Hans. For only the summoners from Vulcan there, that is a huge win for EG. Another kill into jojopyun, who's having a monster series.
Really rewarded for the early move there. And the Galio not able to get there in time to react. Look at the mid wave. Bjergsen got pushed in. The Sylas was able to move first here, down the wave. As this is all happening here, CoreJJ now with nothing left on the Lulu. Bjergsen goes back towards Raptors, and Vulcan sees the angle. Vulcan, huge stuff from him. Goes in on the Rakan here. Did it last game on the Bard. So many engages for the team. Rewards JoJo for the roam.
Really well played by JoJo. You know, using the Everfrost there to force the flash. The cleanse has to be used to just get out of that Everfrost slow, but he held the Q for after the flash, so he's able to finish off Hans as he tries to get out there. And now that is a 2-0-0. Early Everfrost completed. Yes, he's down farm, but he has been active on the map. And it's JoJo who's going to be scaling well into this late game.
And that's kind of the story that we've been talking about with JoJo after going to MSI and sort of changing up his own play style, sack some of the farm, make the plays instead, work with the rest of the team and get things rolling. He's feeling good about this.
Okay, as far as top laner power spikes too, Blade of the Rune King for Renekton with the Empowered W hitting 3 times is so much damage. This build is all about that burst on the single target. We'll see if it actually means the difference here in the side push. Both of them have Unleashed Teleport, so if you win that 1v1, then you can get the play for your team.
Yeah, and it's Impact who's going to have that potential earlier move here. Bwipo was later coming out of base. JoJo trying to get mid shove, and Vulcan is here on the faster roam. So this should be EG's Herald. All of TL's bot lane is staying bot now.
Yeah.
And Core is moving up at this time, but is it too late?
Also remember Poppy ultimate here. So these are the easy situations to use it. Trundle has to go through this small corridor. Poppy can try and ult him out.
Or Santorin wants to
kill him.
step up and try to challenge him because here comes the heroic entrance from the Galio. JoJo's going to be rooted up. He's in a bad spot. Multi-man taunt. Team Liquid will find the enemy mid laner. And the shutdown goes over to Bwipo. TL makes it happen.
They do it! They brute force it! Team Liquid get the Rift Herald, and they're not done yet. They're looking for crocodile boots too.
I was gonna say that. That was literally going through my brain. That great minds think alike, buddy. Great minds think alike. And Impact drops. Bwipo gets the money.
A massive win there for TL on the top side. 2 kills. And the Herald going their way. Both of them on Bwipo, who's now been slingshot ahead of Impact here for what feels like the first time in this series. So he is going to be the one controlling that top lane.
Oh my goodness. Huge stuff there. The biggest first team fight of this game 5 goes the way towards Team Liquid. Rift Herald still in inventory for them to use too.
Well, let's hop in a time machine here for a second. Hey guys, remember when we were back here 10 minutes ago talking about how, man, if Aatrox gets shut down and loses that side lane, bad stuff's gonna happen? Not happening now.
No, sir. And they do go for this fight once again, but it's a defensive Galio ultimate, meaning so much. You're pushing them back. JoJo gets caught on the very edge of the knock-up there and just gets focused down. Everyone from TL going straight for this fed mid laner from EG, tries to flash out and get to safety, not able to do it.
Yeah, Bjergsen finds his moment right here, right now. Saves his Galio ultimate for the Rift Herald fight, and it pays off for Team Liquid because Evil Geniuses had started to create a pretty decent lead in this game with that dragon, but that chunks it right back down. Gold lead now over to TL.
Only thing better than a Game 5 is a close Game 5. Team Liquid having themselves that Rift Herald here. I want to see where they use it. There's still all 3 turrets standing in that outer ring for both teams.
And the next Galio ultimate I'm looking at for Team Liquid will be an offensive one. It will be this Aatrox, fed Bwipo, running in to get them a good spot. Vulcan does get polymorphed, but easily slips his way out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where in solo queue you can keep chasing that after the enemy support, but they know that Evil Geniuses has more manpower nearby. Hans and Danny trading back and forth here a little bit. Super Mega Death Rocket flies out, but Vulcan protecting his AD carry from too much extra damage. CoreJJ trying to ward battle for vision.
Bjergsen, he's
as
snuck up
Inspired
here.
ready to go. Hans Sama forced to flash over the wall. They cancel the MF ulti, so Hans doesn't die. But now it's going to be JoJo in the middle of everybody yet again. Team Liquid looking to fire back here just a little bit, but Bjergsen's down. EG get one, but Bwipo wants revenge. He'll look for Vulcan, but he won't find him. And EG is out playing him and slaying him. Bwipo's down too. Santorin tries to escape. Inspired will lead the charge. He slams him at the wall. They're getting both. They're getting both.
It's the double teleport from EG. I think TL only thought it was one coming through. The play that was used against TL years ago that killed Piglet, it was CLG doing it to them then. It's EG doing it to them now. Both solo leaders pop up, and EG crushed the fight.
That was so big. Look at this early positioning on Hans. This ward, hero ward for EG. They see Hans against the wall. They bide their time. Inspired goes straight for him. They get the Lulu ult out. They get the flash from Hans Sama out really early. And then they disengage from the Team Liquid Galio ultimate. And once those TPs come in, that is more than you bargained for. Poppy ultimate. This game-changing ultimate ejects Santorin and Bwipo.
Yep.
Both frontline members from Team Liquid.
Absolutely, and it means that Bwipo can't actually get a reset, an extension on his ultimate. He can't get that first kill. As he tries to charge back in, they all focus him down. It's the counter Galio ultimate there from JoJo.
This is why Poppy is so highly prized. Crazy, crazy stuff here. That was when he got Poppy ulted out.
Yeah, I mean, you know how much that means, how much that fight could dictate the pace of the game here. Tower going to be going the way of Han, so he will get a lot of gold off this, but Inspired takes the dragon down on bottom side. That's back-to-back dragons here for EG, and they are out to an early lead. Feeling good about their position in this game. JoJo got so many kills there. He's out to 5-1.
Tank Poppy, first item Anathema's Chains, did more damage than anybody on TL in that fight.
And if you put it on the Jinx, that CC from everyone will stun lock him to death. The Rakan, the Sylas, everybody.
Exactly, and I mean, that's what all the eyes are on.
Ooh.
EG has got to kill the
Bwipo?
Jinx, and TL has got to keep him alive.
JoJo's just trying to run away from this Aatrox now. Bwipo did a good job using the Q2 there to interrupt JoJo's dash.
Yep. Sorry I've angered you. My bad, Bwipo.
Yeah, gonna be getting out to safety, but Danny in a good spot now. He's up farm in this game. He has the Mermana all charged up. Again, it's this map movement. It's been so frequent throughout this series. Everyone moving for the fights. They know it's all about these scraps.
And this is a guaranteed 5v4 for Team Liquid because Renekton is showing top lane. That's why Team Liquid were threatening that dive there. They know Impact is going to be guaranteed to split push, but they can't pull it off, and Impact will get the tower.
And it's been so exciting to watch throughout the entire series. And you think back to even the Senate TK game with 3 teleports on EG's side, 2 teleports on TL's side. As soon as a fight breaks out, it's instant teleports from both sides. These teams always on the same page, it feels like, in these fights, deciding that they're going to scrap, immediately trying to respond, and it's coming so much down to execution in those subsequent fights.
And with the Hex Drake, not Soul, excuse me, and Infernal Drake in EG's possession, the base stats on those, the extra damage, extra ability haste, extra attack speed, it's only going to make them more ferocious when they can find these collapses onto the vulnerable members of Team Liquid by getting rid of those frontliners like you guys were talking about. If Aatrox and if Trundle aren't there soaking up, what are Lulu and Jinx going to do?
Yeah, if they get Poppy ulted out, that was the game changer, you know? This Aatrox Trundle frontline for Team Liquid. Let's see if they can do it again. Blue buff being started up. Evil Geniuses moving in and prepping their vision for Baron already. It's only 22.5 minutes into the game, and already they're starting to deny so much vision from Team Liquid.
And one of the things that's going to be really tough, in this game for TL is that the turn is so explosive for EG when you do have Vulcan, who's been so good at finding these angles, at finding flanks, coming in from different areas. Between him and the Renekton and the possibility of JoJo in there, you've got to be on point, because I do think in these later stages, the first 5 seconds is going to decide almost every team fight.
Yeah, Vulcan's defining characteristic as a player, to me, has always been finding the creative angles in, finding the right way to approach a fight that most people would look at and say, probably not this one. He goes, no, you just got to do it right.
Good part about Rakan is that you can also disengage afterwards, get out after the Galio ult comes in. Here comes the setup. Team Liquid rotate everybody over to make a power move to get their vision back. They have to bring all their members and even the hovering Galio for the ultimate there. After they reset their vision around that Baron, though, they can go collect waves.
So much Team Liquid defensive vision in this top blue jungle quadrant coming out from them. Much more mid-focused, river-focused vision from Evil Geniuses right now. Still sitting on a 2,500 gold lead, along with the stat bonuses from those first 2 Drakes. Makes it feel more like a 4,000 gold lead that they're commanding right now.
It absolutely does. It's been them kind of dictating the pace of this game, winning out in the majority of the fights. But TL knows if they establish their battle lines well, if we can keep Hans safe, it's going to be so hard to actually win that extended fight. Unless they can chunk out Hans or kill him right off the bat, Lulu plus Galio is going to keep him safe.
And this Aatrox, we've had our eyeballs on since Champ Select. 2 items and stopwatch here for Bwipo.
So tanky with just those. The Death's Dance able to stop him from getting bursted down, provide time to get that reset like what you were talking about was denied in the previous fight. 45 seconds until our 3rd Drake spawns.
And I think it's going to be largely about this dragon. TL not going to be willing to actually get EG to a very early soul point. And knowing that if they're the ones who are able to start collecting these mountain dragons, it's going to be so good for TL because it can help to absorb the initial punch from EG, where largely these fights are going to be decided.
All right, they're fighting over the mid-wave minion push first. Use that to rotate in towards Dragon. Already they have JoJo push out the bottom lane.
And he'll be rotating over now as well. Evil Genius is going to group up together. Team Liquid already grouped up together. And now we jockey for position in the bottom side river. Hans has some rockets. Try to poke him out a little bit with the range. Galio ult versus Galio ult.
Yeah, and that stolen Galio ult, it's so much more powerful offensively for EG because they have ways in. If Vulcan can find that backline, can set them up huge. Impact fighting with Core on that side. He needs to be that flanking member, but TL are marking the flankers from EG really well. Bwipo's pushing out Vulcan, but EG are just going to turn to the Dragon and try to force their hand.
Okay, Evil Genius is starting up the Drake, but they are DPSing very slowly. They do not want to overcommit to this. They're trying to dare Team Liquid in. Impact still separated. He's lost a little bit of HP, but still mostly healthy. Bwipo going in for the enemy top laner. EG still with control over the Drake. Santorin may move in and look for a steal.
Resets.
Drake resetting, losing a little bit of patience. Impact flashing away. Vulcan coming in for the quickness. It's bullet time! Santorin will barely live, but Drake and control over the pit goes to EG. They'll secure it and claim the soul point.
Such a back and forth battle there. Impact getting pushed out by Bwipo, but Santorin pushed out as well. Bjergsen pushed out, flashes off of both those members, and EG critically take the Dragon, move to soul point in the 5th and final game of this series. One last slot to go to Chicago and fight for that championship.
The precision necessary in that dance is so immaculate. Here we go, EG. Look at this. They're just looking for the turn the whole time. Vulcan saying, watch me, I will get the Rakan engaged, and then instant use Sylas Galio ultimate and Miss Fortune ultimate. As soon as Santorin walks up, he looks for the smite. They're going to pull the trigger. This is the tankiest dragon, by the way. Mountain Dragon here, resets again. There goes Vulcan. He flash engages instant Miss Fortune ultimate and Galio ultimate from the stolen Sylas. They're layered over the top, but it's not enough to kill Santorin. It is enough to chunk him out of the dragon fight and away from the smite fight.
And even Bjergsen had to flash away so he could actually channel Galio ultimate to give that magic damage shield to save Santorin. That does keep him alive, but Danny now in an awkward spot here will be pushed back.
The 1v1 even, towards mid lane was intense with the two top laners.
Oh, yeah.
Impact threatening the flank there, and neither one going down. Did cost him his flash though, so have to count those critical cooldowns.
Totally, and I thought there was maybe even an opportunity for Bwipo to flash follow and try to look for that kill, but decided it wasn't worth it, that it was gonna be more about the fight around the dragon. But it is, impact down flash, but on the other side, both Bjerg and Santorin are missing their flash. Vulcan is missing his flash, so 2 members apiece.
And I think those kinds of decisions very much show you the weight of the current state of the game, the fact that we're in a game 5. Maybe if that's game 1, game 2, yeah, you can flash after him, try to make the big play, catch him out, take him down. But here in game 5, everything has to be evaluated and reevaluated in order of importance so much.
Yep. Game 5 with the importance of who moves on in playoffs to keep their hopes of winning the LCS alive and going to Worlds alive.
And Bwipo knows he has all of his team's kills. He is that strong member. Hansama in trouble!
Hansama! He'll escape, but Core won't!
Yeah, CoreJJ catches a stray there, trying to buff up and save Hansama. The flash down from Jinx, but the support life.
And no ulti use, no flash use by Core, underestimating that lethality damage. EG, Danny coming up with a huge play there, deathless in this game 5. They needed to get him going. Now he's in a great spot. They're moving into this upper river, trying to control vision here.
Not going for a Baron, just making Team Liquid think about it. They will check it there with the blue trinket. They will see that Evil Geniuses is not attempting that. But the most important thing coming up here soon, my friends, 2 minutes until what will be the Mountain Soul for the side of Evil Geniuses. Very, very scary. Team Liquid has to figure out how to deal with this, but they can't be getting caught like this.
No, and I mean, it's just Danny just straight up walking up, utilizing that Emax. The slow is so oppressive. You drop the E for the 60% slow, and then Core is trying to walk around that right side of the tower, but he's just in the slow, just dies 100-0 there. That's a rough one from him.
Muramana is a hell of an item.
Yeah, I mean, MF ulti is, if you get all of it, it's up to 3,346 damage without crits. And it can go up to well over 4,000 damage if you're actually critting those waves. So that is way more than the total health of a Lulu. You have got to get out of that thing so fast or it will kill you.
And this is what you were talking about earlier, right? It is so easy to contribute incredible amounts of damage to a fight or to just trying to poke and getting a kill from it with this build. This Miss Fortune build has that level.
And look at the territory that Evil Geniuses will take away from Team Liquid because of it. The mid tower going down allows this invade.
Whoa, Bjergsen getting jumped on, but he gets away as Vulcan looked to grab him.
And they're just looking to blow cooldowns before the dragon. This Dragon Soul fight is the most important fight of the whole game. It's gonna make or break this game right here, this series right here. We are 40 seconds away. If you could blow flashes, if you could blow ultimate cooldowns even at this point.
And TL trying to control vision up on this top side, trying to threaten a counter Baron, but is Baron even the play you want to look for with Soul on the table here? EG trying to move out, make sure that there is no Baron rush happening.
And I think one of the biggest cooldowns in mentioning them is that in that last play where they able to kill CoreJJ, they burn the flash off on Summon. That will not be available for the Dragon Soul fight here. EG will be looking for that Jinx, and that Jinx has no flash.
And Vulcan will have his flash. And now JoJo has the Soul and Galio ultimate. So it's a flash Rakan engage plus Galio ulti on this Jinx's head. He's got to play so carefully. They're pushing them out of the river now.
Bwipo manages to retreat. Impact was approaching on the flank, but Team Liquid wisely backing up into their own jungle instead of back into the river. EG have control over that river. They have control over this pit. They have a control ward placed down, and they'll start up the objective. The pressure is on Team Liquid to challenge for this, but they'll give it away. They'll give it away.
They feel that without Hans having flash, they just can't approach. That would be throwing the game away, because if they walk up with no flash on Hans, with flash on Vulcan and the stolen Galio ulti, you are a dead Jinx, and that would mean Baron as well, but that is a tough call to make. Your year is on the line, and it is now a 2K gold lead plus Soul, and Bwipo is way out there. Here comes JoJo.
You want to talk about stolen Galio ults? Well, we're not going to talk about that one anymore because Bwipo got away.
All right, it is going to mean the rotation down to that bottom lane, though, because they're pushing the wave afterwards as well. Evil Geniuses should be able to get a tower anyway.
Ooh, Everfrost. Santorin's going to get caught now, but Bjergsen's coming in to help. They're separated. EG making the bang out of it. Bullet time nearly finds the kill. Bjergsen's taken up here in the front. Bwipo with a massive shutdown as Bjergsen gets away, and Impact gets denied.
Danny flashed in, tried to take down that play, and he dies for it.
Bwipo just stomps him into the ground. The Aatrox comes up huge for Team Liquid. This could be Baron too, off the reset. They're teleporting out there. They could lose Baron off of that.
What a massive change in the state of the game. It seemed so stacked for EG after getting the Soul uncontested, but getting too aggressive, overplaying their hand. We've known EG to be the type of team that will always look for the plays, but it bites them, and Team Liquid starts the Baron.
It's up to Inspired now. He just barely is getting up his smite, but he's being pushed out here by Bwipo. JoJo's just shoving mid, so they're trying to see if there's a steal angle, but there's not going to be one. TL will get this. They may try to harass the recalls here to see if they can get JoJo a little bit more time in this mid lane, but that is such a massive swing in the game. TL are going to walk back together as 5, so it will be mid lane tier 2 and a little bit of chip on that inhibitor tower. But that is a game-changing play.
It certainly is, Team Liquid. Their hopes, their dreams are still alive. What a huge, huge defense there.
We got to see it again. I need to see exactly what happened there. I mean, Danny had people so low with his ultimate, and then I think tried to flash over the pillar to finish them off, but just wasn't able to do it. And even Impact was so close to knocking down multiple members. EG got nothing, and they lose so much.
It was such a great pillar there from Santorin, because he has to flash out of the ultimate and then turn around and cast it. Let's take a look here.
So it's all on Danny. Danny's coming up here. The pillar goes down. He turns to the... Did the chain pull him? Oh, that's what happened. He flashed over.
The chain.
And the chain is still connected. Gets pulled to the other side of the pillar. So I misspoke.
And then look at Bwipo walking up. He almost dies. He has 20 health there.
Yeah.
But he walks into the face of the enemy AD carry. He collects the kill. His chain. His balls walking up and getting those kills.
Massive from Bwipo, but a misplay from Danny. I mean, Danny flashes out. He could have just stepped out the back of that, thinking he was out of the chain. Thought he had disconnected, but he hadn't. He gets pulled back onto the other side of the pillar. You know, and when I watched it live, I thought he had flashed in aggressively to finish people off, but that was just not actually keeping track of that infernal chains. And that is completely game-changing. The Baron on TL gives them a new lease on life. But it's only theirs for a minute 20, and the Soul is permanent.
Right, the Soul is permanent, but it means the Elder now lives in that pit. This is an old school League of Legends. It doesn't matter how many Drakes you have. That thing works the same for either side, and if TL can get it, they can run over a fight.
This has been buying so much time for Hans, though. He has the IE, he has a stopwatch, he has a Last Whisper, his flash is back. Remember, they decided not to fight at that Soul to wait for Hans to have summoners here, and now he has summoners, now he has stopwatch. It is going to be very difficult for EG to find the angle to actually kill off this TL marksman.
TL moving as a unit. Protect the president, and his name is Hans Sama. Jinx with the range, throwing out the chompers, zone them away, don't let them make their entrance. Vulcan still has no flash here for the Rakan engage.
This is so intense. Game 5, everything on the line. Team Liquid fighting back. The Baron buff, though, is starting to time out. Only 20 seconds left. This is the last minion wave to work with.
They spot Santorin there with the Q from Vulcan, hits him.
Yup.
Knows that he's in position. Santorin taking a lot of damage here, he's too far forward.
He also had his own ult stolen and used against him. Bwipo's been removed from the fight. Now Santorin's got to be careful as he continues getting back, but Inspired is eating rockets. A disengage from both teams. Danny!
Danny is down!
Got the kill! JoJo tries to get away. He'll escape for now.
Oh, those slows coming through, and Danny had no flash from the previous fight. Just now, it's about to come back up. He goes down again, and TL are on the march here. How much can they get? It's 4 melees. They have no wave clear.
Santorin is so tanky. This Trundle frontline soaking all the damage with his ultimate on. He doesn't even flash. They don't even use the Galio ultimate there. Team Liquid winning the front to back.
The Troll King. They try to keep the crown away from him, but in game number 5, he's back and he's getting it done.
That stopwatch was so big.
Yep.
For the whole duration of the Miss Fortune ultimate. My goodness.
And no one on TL expended flashes there for this next coming up Elder fight here. So JoJo uses the Trundle on Trundle. They actually Everfrost him and knock him back into what they thought was going to be the big ulti there from Danny. Even the entrance, the CC coming through, but it's the Trundle pillar onto Danny, and as they back up, he's just turning around, trying to get some damage in. The zap hits as Vulcan jumps back, and that zap slows him down enough that TL can actually step forward and take him down. So that's, yes, a little bit of mispositioning from Danny, but Vulcan maybe should have been the one to tank that.
Hansama is putting out so much damage.
Look at Bwipo, has an angle here potentially.
Okay, Santorin and Bjergsen here on the front. Hansama popping the clan's bullet time
Here goes
flying
Bwipo.
out.
Oh, he's on
Bjergsen
Danny.
is about to die, but Danny's gonna die first. They're all piled into the river as Hansama is still alive. He'll try to kite out inspired as EG continue to dive forward. JoJo's into the stasis. Impact wants his man.
Hans
And he
down.
finds him. Hans is out of the picture. Santorin about to die now. And now Bwipo will fall too. Bjergsen retreats. Core retreats. EG gets him.
Bwipo! Oh my goodness, it goes down! jojopyun heals back up to full, and EG, they're making a run for the base!
EG have routed Liquid. They're pushing down mid. They are not waiting for the Elder. It's up to Bjergsen and Core. Their season on the line.
30 seconds. 30 seconds until the rest of the team comes back. JoJo goes in. Bjergsen's the target, trying to get back. CoreJJ and Bjerg, they retreat to the next
They don't have
turret.
time.
The inhib can be given, that's fine. The game will not end here.
But they waited too long. Can they even rush the Elder now? Santorin's going to be up here in about 5 seconds. EG thought there might have been an angle to end. And now, going back here, TP is available for Bwipo, but he's not up for a while. They're on the Elder.
Just burn it, just burn it. They can definitely burn this thing down. CoreJJ is running out here, but it is dark and it is dangerous.
Man, that flank from Bwipo made you think TL was about to win the game. But the melee squad here
No way.
stepping forward. They wait for it. Impact is trying to come out and block it.
JoJo on this Sylas, oh my goodness, so much space created. He gets so low in the middle of the fight. We gotta take a look. That was
Baron
a
time.
very,
We might
very
not have
dense one.
time, my
Yeah.
friend.
Well, with the Elder Dragon, there's no way Team Liquid are gonna take that fight. So I'm assuming Team Liquid are just going to speed pressure. You do not want to fight Elder. That is way too massive of an advantage.
Man, this is just so crazy. It's going to come down to these final fights here. Death cap now done for JoJo. He has the rank 3 ultimate. He is ready to go.
It should be Baron picked up for Team Liquid, though. With the power of the Elder Dragon there, you have to seed it as Team Liquid and hope that you get a better angle
Back far
inside.
up.
Evil Geniuses will start the Baron. The Scuttle Crab is there for the side of TL, so they know what's going on, but it's what you were saying, Kobe. It's just too difficult to fight into the Elder buff. It almost guarantees a team fight win.
Yeah. Execution is too dangerous. The poke damage even. We shall see. The inhibitor in mid lane is already exposed.
And now it's a minute and a half here with Elder and Baron stacked for EG to get as much damage done as possible here. They really want to push the pace of the game now, see what they can get done.
And they're immediately going into the top lane, getting those minions shoved out. Impact gonna move back towards mid. Team Liquid trying to maintain control over at least something. Buy as much time as you can. You have to at least wait until the Elder is gone before you have any chance in one of these fights. EG splits up. They're gonna leave Danny in the top lane to push that up while everybody else is here in mid.
Something so critical. Hans used his stopwatch and his flash in the last fight, so TL may want to try to wait. They may not contest anything until that flash is available, because if they get on him, he's got no way out.
EG grouping up top side, moving on to the tier 2, just demolish it. Impact still here in mid lane. He's gonna be empowering that minion wave. Now, are they ready to go? Evil Geniuses jumping in, scaring Team Liquid away. They've got 30 seconds of Elder Drake, and they're gonna use it.
With the Baron buff pushing as well, they just demolished those 2 inhibitors. Evil Genius is looking to end it. 20 seconds left on Elder.
Evil Geniuses, they're going in, they're looking for the end. It's 15 seconds left. Nexus turret number 1 is already gone. They find the damage, they find Bwipo. EG 5v4, Nexus turret number 2, it's gone. The Nexus is open. The champions will return to battle for their title again. And they have booked a ticket to Chicago.
EG coming back into this series, utilizing the Elder, utilizing the Baron. They push for the Nexus. The killer instinct was there from the team. Danny's mommy in the crowd, she is loving it. Overcome by emotion. EG take down TL in such a close series. This one was the slimmest of margins all day long.
They made the lower bracket run in spring. They got to do it again.
This series, from the very beginning, had to end in both glory and tragedy. Both rosters built to compete at the top, and only one is allowed to go to Worlds. Only one is allowed to go to Chicago. And now that one is decided, and it is Evil Geniuses.
Team Liquid made them work so hard for this win, all the way down to the last minutes of Game 5, putting up such a fight.
I've got to say, though, what a series from jojopyun on EG. Monster performances across multiple games to get them these wins. He really was the difference maker to me. The Azir game, this game on the Sylas, his Victor games, was pumping out the damage, was that threat that they really needed to get them over the finish line.
So many big moments in these team fights. Full Poppy utility on display from Inspired as well in the top team fight, ejecting the front line, getting the wall stun.
I love the fact that you say it's the utility, because he was also top in the damage charts. He was just where he needed to be. Vulcan finding those engages on Rakan. In the game previous, being the Lord Hero Savior of all of Evil Geniuses on the Bard, sniping Bjergsen with his 50 caliber ultimate right off of that wall. Everybody on this team did so much work throughout this series.
Look at that emotion. This is what happens when a whole year is condensed into these small moments.
Absolutely, it's your entire life. You know, you have to understand that as a pro. This is both teams' entire life, day in, day out, week in, week out, working towards these moments to try to capture a championship, to try to, reach that greatness that you're aspiring towards. And it is so much pressure on these individual moments, on one mistake here, one mistake there, that can change it from feeling like it was all worth it to why did you even try?
And we even heard from Danny, if you remember back to MSI, the pressure that he was under to perform in a situation like that. You know that he's the kind of person who looks at his own mistakes, and he understands if he's the one who makes that misplay or something. The victory that they achieved here has got to feel such a wave of both happiness and relief and just joy.
Just overcome by emotion, right? You can see it there. You saw it with his mother in the crowd. You saw it with Danny as well. So much boiling down to this moment, and it was this push. EG not willing to settle for just inhibitors. They had 20 seconds left on the Elder, and they just go for it. Bwipo steps forward here, and they see the opportunity to get right in onto Bwipo. jojopyun was pushing on the other side, but it's Bwipo as he steps up for this chunk. They just turn on him and they fire.
Yeah, with the power of the Elder Dragon and the Baron at their command, they force it on the Nexus, and Team Liquid backed into a corner. They open up this combo. Stolen Galio ultimate, Miss Fortune ultimate over a layered stun.
And I just love how much EG were able to actually push the pace with these buffs. I didn't think this was going to be a game-ending play because they only had 130 on it. I thought TL would have been able to buy enough time, but EG gave them no quarter. They pushed forward for it, and TL, even after Bwipo died, you could see they were realizing, okay, there's 4 or 5 seconds left on Elder. We wait that out, then we fight, but EG goes right for the towers. The game is done by the time the Elder's expiring.
Yeah, there were 30 seconds left on that timer as they breached past the inhibitor turrets. Normally that's a moment where there's a little bit of positioning back and forward around the Nexus turrets. EG with no hesitation. I said that it's their style to go aggressive and always be willing to make the play that somebody else might not. It's what bit them in bottom lane when Team Liquid was able to take the Baron. It's the thing that ended up almost throwing the game the other way. But then, as the sun is setting, it's the thing that gives them the win with the Elder. What an ending. What a series, honestly.
My heart's still pumping from
Yeah,
this
me
one.
too.
That was an intense one. We've had a lot of game fives this playoffs. That one was a banger for certain. Oh my goodness. And as they clear off that stage, now you have to look forward because as much emotion was condensed into this moment, this is actually just the beginning of your next steps, leading towards the LCS finals, leading towards Worlds.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to be able to refocus here, regroup, and look towards that next match, which is a tall order.
The series may be finished, but the work is not yet done. In a few minutes, High is going to be going pro-to-pro with Inspired. But now, we're joining LeTigress and Vulcan for our Verizon post-game interview.
Evil Geniuses fans rejoice as a victory was achieved here in game number 5, and I am joined by support Vulcan. What a series. Another 5-game one at that. What did you think right here as everything is coming to this moment? Overall thoughts on this?
I'm very happy because I feel like after a recent performance, I personally wasn't very confident, and I feel like our team, we lost a lot of confidence with everything that happened these past few weeks, and I kind of knew that this series would be very low elo, and I feel like it was not very high level, but I'm happy that we came together, and I feel like we played very well as a team, and I think it was much better than, even though we didn't play our best, I think we played together and we made mistakes together, so I like it.
I do want to focus a bit more on the latter part of this series because Game 4 was a big one for Evil Geniuses. Yes, it ended in the pentakill for Impact, but so much was emphasized on you, on your Bard play being so key. What did you think of your performance there and what that set in terms of tone going into game number 5?
That's pretty chill. I feel like that Bard game, I can do whatever I want. And also, I just played, I think, Leona the game before, and I was just walking around and they have Cleanse and Mercs, and I can't do anything. And I was like, fuck it, just give me Bard. And I was able to do like a lot of creative plays, and I did pop off like a few moments in those games, and I was very hype. And just for me individually, after having a performance like that, obviously going into game 5, I feel pretty confident. And I guess I just picked the Rakan as well because it's like a similar champ, you can make plays. And yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of this Bard game. I think that was a very, very good game, so I'm happy with my performance.
You should be. It was a great performance. Was there any additional level of you and the team trying to get into the heads of Team Liquid as well? We saw Inspired kind of going around, canceling some autos, a few emotes thrown through.
Yeah, I mean, TL's the kind of team that has a lot of pressure on them because the team, the org has invested a lot into this lineup, and they collected all these superstars, and they get a lot of pressure from the staff to perform and qualify for Worlds, win the split. And we definitely go into lobby and ask them if they're going to choke sometimes. We're trying to get into their head a little bit because we know it's a lot of pressure for them. And obviously respect to all their players. I think they're all pretty good, and very happy to compete against them in such a banger series. But also happy that CoreJJ still hasn't won a split since I've been on a good team. So.
I know there's so much discussion between you and CoreJJ as far as that support position here in the LCS, but a lot of pressure on both of these teams, especially in that game 5. How were you handling that when things kind of swung the other way for a moment before being able to close it out?
Yeah, that was scary because that should never happen. We were like in such a comfortable spot, and it was a pretty big blunder that happened that kind of allowed them to come back into the game. But either way, I still felt like our draft was so much better. And when I loaded into champ select, I was looking at all 10 champs, and I was like, wow, what are they drafting for game 5? This is troll. And the only champ that can do anything is this Jinx, and she's playing against MF, where MF is just going to press E ult on their head, and then she can't really do too much damage. So game 5, the whole way through, we were just saying we can just chill, we can, farm for late game NA style, and we will just be able to outscale. And it's kind of up to them to make plays, pretty much.
Now bringing it out to the bigger picture of what that W in game number 5 means. Qualifying to Worlds, going to Chicago. We were talking so much about the fact that there are only 2 teams that had won spring and not made it to Worlds. In fact, Cloud9
it was me.
In 2020, you were on that squad. Did that add any additional chip on your shoulder when it came to this performance? And also just thoughts on going to Worlds, yay.
I'm very happy to go to Worlds, yeah. Mostly because of my bonus in my contract, and in NA you play for money. So. And yeah, I mean, Worlds is where you want to be. It's where everyone, the best players in the world will come to play, and it's always where you want to compete. And I'm super happy to do that once again. And it'll look great on my resume. And what did I want to say? What was the question again?
Worlds, baby.
Worlds, baby, Chicago.
Chip on your shoulder. Didn't get to make it with Cloud9 2020.
Oh, right. That's right. Yes. I definitely had flashbacks because in the C9 series, I played 2 games of Yumi. And in 2020, when I was playing against FlyQuest and we got knocked to the lower bracket before we didn't make Worlds, I was also playing Yumi. And then I was having like very similar flashbacks. I was like, wow, it's happening again. I'm the peasant of summer. I'm not going to make Worlds. But very happy to make it and, you know, not collapse in summer once again with my team and show that we're good. So.
You did hover Yumi before you locked in the Bard, so good thing that didn't end up happening, right?
Yes, if I'm playing Yumi that game, I cannot make quite so many plays as I did with Bard, so very, very satisfied, yeah.
There is still some more to the journey, though, when it comes to achieving another domestic title here in the LCS. Yes, you're going through Chicago, but you still got to battle through this lower bracket. You've got another opponent here coming up. Before you get into that finals, what do you think about 100 Thieves and facing off?
They looked pretty good before they played C9. I mean, I feel like in the C9 series, they were also not bad. They fared better than we did against C9, so we'll see. But I feel like this year, and especially the Summer Split, all four top teams kind of take turns being the better team. And we have the lower bracket buff, and we've done it before. We've been in an arena, we performed the best out of everyone that was there. And I don't see why we wouldn't do it again, so.
I'm sure that'll be the mantra of all of the Evil Genius fans that will be cheering you along the way. Thank you for the interview, Vulcan, and congratulations again on the victory here today.
Thank you.
We do have Inspired standing on by with High for our Pro to Pro, so let's check out what they've got going on.
Welcome back to Pro to Pro, everyone. I have Inspired with me here today. Super hyped right now, by the way, so we're gonna have to calm down a little bit, start on game 1, but then we can get more hype as it goes on. So we're gonna go all the way back to game 1. You're playing Jarvan, you have Unsealed Spellbook. Can you just tell me a little bit about A, why you went Unsealed Spellbook, and then B, how you really track Santorin in this game? Because pretty much every single gank you're there to counter gank him. Top lane, bot lane, here again. So I'll play the clip out and just tell me about your choices on Unsealed Spellbook and how you track
Well, the Spellbook, I already played in Spring Finals Jarvan 2 times with the Spellbook. And it was at the time that Malrank started playing and I received the first strike Jarvan, and I was looking for a reason, and I just thought that the 3 is like so much better scaling because you have free boots, you have first strike, I mean, you have, not first strike, you have Futures Market, you have Cosmic Insight, which are 3 very important runes, but I just didn't understand the first strike, so I thought like Spellbook will be just better. It makes you be kind of weak early game, but I'm not looking to fight early game with the Spellbook, I'm just looking to farm. And then it's very important to have Ignite when you are playing against champions like that heal a lot, which is Trundle, Sylas in the meta, Swain, Seraphine lanes. And then on Rift I just take the Ignite, and this makes us win the 2v2s. In solo queue, usually mid laner just takes the Ignite and then you fight with it, but in competitive game, mid laner needs a TP. So I think the Ignite is like a big deal. And then later, I can be very creative. In this game, I don't know if you will show it, but when we won the game on top side, I was on mid and I switched my Smite to Ghost, and I pressed Ghost and I managed to reach enemy team. So the Spellbook came in clutch in some situations.
I don't think I have that one, so I do have a different clip though. We're gonna jump all the way to game 3, I believe this one is, if I'm not mistaken. Can you tell me about this game-changing pick? Actually, this might be game 4, my bad.
Yeah,
you guys are kind of behind, like you lost the last 2 previous games, your morale going to the game is probably pretty low, but the game's pretty even, but then you get this pick here, which leads into this top fight. So one, can you tell me a bit about it?
So here, we were in the game and I just said to Vulcan, I think go bot, show somewhere on the ward, and then Jinx will think that she can walk up on the mid wave because she sees Bard on the map, but you are like very fast, so you can run to mid and look to ult her. And that's basically what happened, but we didn't even need to invest the Bard ult. And after that, when Jinx dies, enemy team disrespects and keeps going top, which is a big mistake, and we know that they're 4v5, so they're just gonna lose the fight. And Vulcan lands a very clutch ult on Talia that was ulting away. And after that, we just get Nash. So I think it came out from me calling Vulcan to like show around bot and make Hans feel confident and walk up mid.
Gotcha. So then, after this, you're gonna go to game 5. With this game under your belt, now you're 2-2. Do you feel actually confident going into it? Because game 2 and 3 for you guys looked a little bit shaky.
Yeah, I mean, before the game, I knew we were gonna win. Like, I just felt it. I don't know. I think when I was typing to enemy team before the game, they were not responding too much. I knew that I have mental advantage already, and they are out of it, so
gotcha.
We managed to win.
Yeah, so then this is game 5 now. It's 2-2. You just previously split the map. So you spent the last about 2 minutes trying to gank Aatrox with no avail, but you recall and you get a free pick here. So after this pick, can you tell me a bit about how the game plan is going for you guys? Are you guys pretty happy about how the game is going? And how's the morale?
I mean, Galio is a very strong champion until he dies. if Galio dies once in the game, he becomes very useless. I think when you play with Galio, you can't afford to make mistakes. And the moment he flashed over that wall, and I knew that I just bought Swifties, I will make it on time. I knew that he's just trolling. And after this fight, I was like, okay, I think now we are in control because they don't have upper hand to make plays anymore. And as long as we just farm, I think Jinx will not be able to get too many plays. And if Jinx doesn't get ahead with this comp, they will not really have much damage. So yeah, I think if you play Galio, you can't afford this kind of mistakes. This is just game losing.
So you think this is the game losing part right here?
I think this is game losing for their team comp. I think it's very hard for them right now to contest fights around mid, and if they can't contest fights around mid with Trundle Galio, I think it's really hard to like get some lead on sides, and those champs are not good when the game is completely even. And Sylas and Poppy are very strong, and yeah, I think it's just game losing.
Okay, cool. Because I actually have a different clip that I personally thought was game-winning fight. It's still really early in the game. We're about, it's like 2-2. We were going to be in this top push right here. Kind of run me through what the calls are going on here, and then how you guys are feeling after this. Because for me, I felt like you guys win the game here, and then are you guys just kind of riding that high throughout the rest of the game?
I mean, when I said the game is over, I didn't really mean like over, but it means that we have upper hand in the game, but then we made mistakes, so we like gave it back to them. It's usually how it works. And here, Hans was just recalling. We got on top of him. I was calling to disengage the fights. Yeah, and now somehow I managed to hit 2 people. I thought I would only hit Aatrox. And then we just keep going, and Aatrox goes in. I was like, I don't think it's legal for them because they already wasted every ult, and they keep fighting. And I was calling here that if Jinx will try to hit anyone over the wall, to just flash on her because he has no flash. So there's like a lot of pings going on, and we just keep chasing. And luckily for me, my E comes back up, and we just kill them.
Yeah, gotcha. So, congratulations on this. This was a really well-played series from you. You guys won 3-2. You're going to Chicago. You're going to Worlds. Do you have any final statements for anyone, either like Team Liquid, the players, or anything?
I mean, today I was like not really thinking about winning. I just wanted TL to lose because it just feels so good to beat the super team in like decisive match and don't let them go to Worlds. I don't know. It just feels so good. I think I've never been so happy in my career. I think this was like the most. I'm the most happy of all the time after a win. I was for sure not even 50% that happy when we won the Spring Split. Right now, it feels so much better.
I'm really excited to see you guys play at Worlds and play at Chicago too. So congratulations on that. That's all I have for you here today.
Thank you.
We're gonna send you all over to the Bud Light Breakdown.
Thank you so much, Hi. Welcome to the Bud Light Breakdown. Congratulations to Inspired and the rest of EG as they book their ticket to Chicago. They booked their ticket to Worlds. I have to say, huge. Obviously, we were hype. We're hype when we get a Game 5. When Inspired walked into this room, is a different level of energy. An absolutely different level of energy when he walked in, man. He popping off. You could see how excited he was, bouncing with energy off of that win.
Like, that win in Spring was still huge, too. It meant a lot for Danny, but, like, the fact that he said 50% of the happiness that he had now, that was the most evil response. Just happy that, A, sure, beating Team Liquid, but also just with how tough the playoff bracket must have been for them. Like, to be able to qualify to Worlds off that one and go to Chicago, it's huge.
Yeah, they're pushed so far. I mean, he made his 3rd straight Worlds appearance now with that one. Impact going back for his 7th, I think it is. JoJo getting his 1st.
Yeah, in his first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And we got to talk, too, about, JoJo's performance in this final game. And we talked about, the possibility of the Zillion, that early Sylas pick. I love to have seen it. And then Bjergsen kind of jumps towards the Galio. We heard Inspired talking about it. That really, he at least feels that puts the pressure on Galio to not fall down. And as soon as that happens, as soon as there's that one overstep, they took advantage and they ended up driving it all the way to a victory.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of this series, I feel like JoJo outplayed Bjergsen quite a lot because even the first game he outplayed him a lot, and this game as well. But then he was blinding stuff like Victor earlier, and he wasn't really getting punished at all. So it seemed like Bjergsen wasn't down to take these like more flip matchups and really challenge him, which is ironic because we were talking about how he said his laning is a lot weaker this split. So I was really surprised JoJo stepped up. He seemed like the player for me today.
Yeah, I think JoJo had some of the biggest performances. Some of those Victor games did have some struggles in the mid to late game. It was a tough series where people were having like pop-off performances and then they would have a game where they'd struggle. Impact obviously has the pentakill game on the GP. They
all had moments.
Yeah, everyone had some big moments over this series.
Yeah, and a lot of it came down to something that we had talked about, which is EG's team fighting, right? And on a pick like Sylas, even though it's not as obvious as the Galio, he can still steal Galio ult. He's contributing so much to a lot of these fights, and it kind of reflects like how you know, we talked about what Bjergsen said about his laning and how he himself said he learned so much from international mid laners like Xiaohu about what you need to do for your team. And I think we absolutely saw that here today.
100%. I know there's been conversations about a good Sylas and a bad Sylas. I think from like Palafox's conversation earlier on. And this was just a fantastic Sylas. Like the chase down in the red blue side jungle top side earlier in the game was like really good for him. There was one moment when Bwipo like re-engaged in the fight. They probably just didn't know that Sylas had Galio ulti. It was just overall a great game from him.
I mean, this team fight in particular was the one for me where I think it solidified JoJo as just having an absolute monster series, hitting the very end of the Everfrost to burn the cleanse on Hansama, and then you saw how much peel they actually had to keep Hans up. If he was able to keep that cleanse through that entire sequence, they had to blow everything to actually finish him off, and they were able to do it.
If you weren't convinced already of it, that JoJo was a clutch player, I think this postseason has kind of proved it. From the last series to this one, when the pressure was on and somebody needs to step up, JoJo has been the one to do it, and that's why he gets player of the series for this series. We did mention that every single player on the team had their moments. The Vulcan Bard game, the GP out of Impact. Inspired played fairly solidly across a lot of the games, citing that, you know, driving game and his ability to track Santorin. All great stuff, but JoJo in those final moments and when they need somebody to step up, it seems to be him. And as a rookie, I mean, the cold-blooded.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing about JoJo, honestly, is the fact that he shrugged so much of the criticism off, right?
Quite literally.
He drew, he drew so much criticism at the beginning of the season for a lot of his comments, how he was like, yeah, like I the only person who's a better laner than me is Chovy, like you guys will see. And I remember what Jat said about like, players stepping up in games. Like, it's not that this is a game 5. It's not that the swaying game against TSM is a game 5. This is just what he wants to do. This is just how he plays.
I think calling back to the beginning of the year is huge because remember, that was the finals of Locking Tournament. EG versus TL. He was talking smack, and then he got 3-0'd by Bjergsen at the end of that finals. And that's when a lot of people, like you said, started turning on him. He's too cocky or whatever. Then he wins Spring Split, and now he's also the one sending Bjergsen home for the year.
Who's he pointing at? Who's in his sights? I guess it's 100 Thieves now.
Yep.
You better watch out, 100 Thieves.
Just think about for you guys. Think about what a year he's had. Like Rookie of the Year, first team All-Pro this split, and then clutch. Probably the biggest game and biggest series of his career thus far. I mean, sure, very young, but the same could be said for a lot of these players. Inspired has already kind of mentioned how this moment was like the happiest he's had. And back-to-back series, he was the clutch player. Winning it for them. So amazing start for him.
He's been clutching it out, but EG's been slogging it out. Again, let's not forget this is a team that's dropped to the lower bracket trying to repeat their run from spring where they had to do the same exact thing to get the title. They are on track to do so. First, they got to get through 100 Thieves in a best of 5 next week in Chicago. If they do so, they'll earn the opportunity to face Cloud9 in the grand finals just that very next day.
And by contrast, I'm trying to think back to the beginning of the split when we did those lists, right? And like week 2 or 3 about like who's gonna make Worlds, and like some people left off C9. That was me. Like I'll take that out. Some people left off 100 Thieves.
That was me.
I don't think any of us left off Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Yeah, my memory is pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember any single person saying TL.
I didn't make one of those lists.
So.
Fairly certain I left.
Is not going to make it to Worlds.
Yeah, I think I certainly believe Team Liquid would be at Worlds. Everyone kind of believed him. Steve definitely believed it. So it's a heartbreak for that team, for that fan base.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. But again, it also speaks to the strength of the playoffs as a whole, but particularly the top 4 teams, right? Again, the idea that not a single series in this playoffs has been a 3-0. Very few of them have even been 3-1s has shown that really on any given day, if a different player had their day or just did a little something different, like it might not even be these 3. And that's the thing, you know, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me that we were going to come away from today feeling a little bit robbed, you know, because if EG didn't make it, we'd be having the same conversation.
Exactly.
It's our championship winning team from spring, and if they didn't, you know, so somebody some subset of people were not going to be happy with the results, and it will sting. But that's how you know the team that's going is deserving, because they showed grit in that 5th and final game. As we mentioned, it's just 2 more best-of-5s to go. Next week, we head to Chicago. It'll be Saturday and Sunday, so make sure you've got that on your schedule. Tickets are selling out, but there are still a few available. One last reminder that we have those few tickets available for Championship Weekend in Chicago. Check out Ticketmaster to grab yours and help us crown the next champs. Now, for those of you who have already purchased 2-day tickets, the only way that you can get your tickets is having them mailed to you ahead of time or picking them up directly at will call. So to avoid long lines at United Center, please get your tickets mailed to you. Otherwise, make sure you show up early, give yourself ample time to pick that up. As you can see here, there is a lot on the docket when it comes to Championship Weekend. It's not just about the games themselves, it's an entire event.
Tyler won meet and greet!
Mark will be front of the line there. I believe there's a Hotline League live as well, right, Mark?
Yeah, I might be busy.
You have a long day.
I don't know how I'm going to get to the
Oh, oops, I booked up. Darn it. It's going to be a ton of fun. Houston was so much fun, and I imagine as a summer championship, this one will be even bigger. Any other final thoughts from y'all before we head into finals weekend, sign off for the day?
Usually, you have to wait a little bit, get to the finals weekend to really say, oh, this has been an amazing playoff run.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
This is a pretty damn good playoff run.
This has been a really entertaining playoff.
Yeah.
Entire postseason for all leagues. Like, if you're not watching the other leagues, go catch some VODs as well, because just playoffs in general have been nuts all over the place. All right, that's about it. Solo, thank you so much for joining us today. What a marathon of a day it was.
Not as long as my day was.
It's easy for you now.
He was forced in the fires of the pause.
We didn't get the pauses.
Yeah.
All righty, well, thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with us. A very long week, packed full of League of Legends, but that's going to do it from us here. So on behalf of myself, the casters, and the entire broadcast crew, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next weekend in Chicago. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and be good to each other. Good night.
We got you some stuff here. We got you a sash. Oh, cool. We got you a crown. And we got some party bombers.
Look at that! Inspired jumps in and he goes for CoreJJ. He knows the Lulu still has no flash. Can they get anything else? EG trying to get back. Bwipo goes in, but they're not going to find the kill. Vulcan's got the save. He's shot
on the
through the heart. Oh boy, Impact. This might not be good. He's trying to buy time. He's trying to get his team here to stay. Top, don't die.
I was exchanging blows quite frequently. Oh, I saw. I made it spicy.
Santorin looking to spin and win, but CoreJJ dropped. Impact going to be traded back. They try to retreat, but EG got no way home.
She got stun. She's one shot. She's Rina. Sylas next together. Wait. Go.
But the problem is, JoJo already had Turret aggro. He's down to 100 HP. CoreJJ and Vulcan, some portal combat. Finish him! And EG's ready to turn it around. They have lost their top laner, but can they do it? Hansama takes out JoJo, and TL's fighting back.
Vulcan wants his revenge. It's a portal combat.
Round 2, fight! Run, CoreJJ! But Vulcan says, get over here!
Let Vulcan have it! Let Vulcan have it!
Flawless victory! But now they're in trouble. Santorin's gone. Hans is gone. Bwipo and Bjergsen trying to get away. Vulcan's got the slows. He's got the feet. Over the wall. Farm him like creeps. Triple kill for Impact. CoreJJ. He'll make it a quadra. Straight for the Nexus turret.
Dangle.
There it is. There it is, Kobe. There the pentakill for Impact. Oh, baby, it is time for a game. Number 5 to decide who goes to Chicago between EG and TL.
No flash, MF.
I'm on hold.
Okay. No flash. MF is dead. Stop us. We fight. Go Renekton.
Appeal in 5.
Renekton. Touch it. We look, we play for nice.
JoJo's into the station. Impact wants his man. And he finds him. Hans is out of the picture. Santorin about to die now. And now Bwipo will fall too. Bjergsen retreats. Core retreats. EG gets them. Evil geniuses. They're going in. They're looking for the end. It's 15 seconds left. Nexus turret number 1 is already gone. They find the damage. They find Bwipo. EG 5v4. Nexus turret number 2. It's gone. The Nexus is open. The champions will return to battle for their title again. And they have booked a ticket to Chicago.